Like, I've had to redo this video because there is so much in this thing about Renee Good getting shot. I'm probably gonna get this video banned because of this. But this dude here, some nuance. This guy really fucking delves in deep, and this is when I finally got a point where it actually made sense to me. Because like, he'll show you. There's two things that got me. Is you have to remember that the dude, the ICE officer, Ross, I think his name is. Here I'll try to show it. Is holding the phone out in front of him, so that when he gets hit, quote unquote, it's actually the phone that gets hit. And he really breaks down a whole bunch of stuff. But this is the footage, like right before she dies. So he's kind of showing you what the ICE agent, the Ross guy, was doing, so you can see what is happening. And it's really necessary because the footage that's out there is really difficult to try to figure out. And you have to watch multiple angles for you to figure out what's going on here, because there is so much nuance to it. Because when I first see this right here, I didn't even notice this. So that's the ICE agent's hand, okay? He switches the hand in it for his phone that he's carrying so that he can free up his gun. Renee Good had no gun, and neither did her wife. No one there had a gun. This is just some residential area with civilian type people. And I had to watch this guy to figure out why she was even being approached. So the reason that she gets approached in the first place is because she's blocking traffic. So what happens is that she spots ICE agents way down the road, and she decides to put her car in this diagonal position on the road that would intentionally block the ICE agents. So the reason that they're even there is because they just happen to be driving down the street. The ICE agents are just happening to drive down the street. So she notices that, and she parks her car to obstruct them. I can't find it in here. But anyway, she parks her car in the middle of the street to block the ICE agent's trucks. I don't know how she does that. I don't know how she spotted it, but somehow she did. And she lets everybody else pass. Like, he shows it to you in this thing. That's why I wish I could show it, because that's like the pretense. That's where it should start. It's like, why are these people even here? Why is she even being approached? And I don't know if he goes... Oops. It doesn't... Yeah, I can't find where he says it. It's all jumbled up, even in this thing. But, yeah, so the officer goes around the car 2 times, trying to tell her, okay, you need to get out of the car, what the hell. And this is where, that right there, that was it. He does it so fast, but that's what happened. So what I noticed when I saw the footage was, like, if you watch... Where is it? I think it's the very first one. Yeah. No, not that one. This one. Or is it this one? No, I think it's this one. So if you watch the footage that they show, is it this one? No, it's not that one. That's not it. Where is it? There it is. Now, if this is the cell phone video that is from the officer, see, it happened so fast. All of it was right there. It's so fast. So he approaches her, right? Because she's parked her car in the middle of the damn street, blocking him from just driving. And so he parks next to her, gets out of his car. They get out of their car, and he's talking to them, and they're telling him off. There's where he switches his hands. And then she tells him to go have a lunch, big boy, or whatever. So she's insulting him. So this isn't like fun and happy. That's where the phone hits. Okay? So that little bump right there, that's when the phone hits. Now watch this. If you pay very close attention right before, this is what got me to start really taking Renee's side on this. Because like before this, you really don't, because she's just like, oh, what are you doing here? Oh, I didn't expect you to be here. Yeah, and it's just like stupid. It's like, what the fuck, And her wife is freaking out and being like obnoxious and rude and shit and insulting and berating and blah, blah, blah. So, from this perspective, it's like, well, yeah, obviously you're going to get shot if you do some weird shit. First of all, they're being disrespectful. Then they're being disorderly. Then they're completely disobeying lawful orders. So yeah, it seems like it's a pretty easy thing, but there's this, which is a little strange. Why does he switch his hand there? So there's their first little clue, like, well, maybe it isn't quite so cut and dry. It's subtle though. It's so subtle, like you wouldn't see it unless somebody else showed it to you or you were really looking for it. Now, right before her wife gets back in the car, because she doesn't ever get the chance to get back in the car. So this is the ICE agent. He's slowly walking in front of her vehicle. Now watch her hands. Watch Renee Good's hands on the steering wheel. Boom. She's turning the car. Now, she's not... It's so difficult to tell if the car is moving, if it's in motion when she's turning the steering wheel. I don't think it is. Or if it is in motion, it's very, very slow. Right? The fact that we even have to ask the question kind of proves the point right there. It wasn't her intent to run him over. That right there, that little tiny little bit where you can see her hands on the steering wheel, moving the steering wheel, that's what got me convinced, no, she's not trying to hit him. If she was going to try to hit him, he's right in front of the car, you can see it. She wouldn't have to turn the steering wheel. She would just have to hit the gas pedal and try to go full throttle, which would be stupid because if you can see how far away he is, he'd have plenty of time to get out of the way. And he does get out of the way and shoots her while he gets out of the way. So at the end of it, it's like, did you really have to do that, ICE agent? No, he really didn't have to do that. Did they have to be so belligerent? No. Did he have to shoot them? No. So there was bullshit on both sides, like there is in pretty much every case. And now, in this scene, the only thing that's really relevant here is, like, if you pay very close attention to his feet, and he's the ICE agent that's behind the dude holding on to the driver's side door. The dude that's behind this guy that's holding on to the driver's side door is the guy that shot Renee Good. Now, if you watch his feet, that's a second red flag for me, is he moves his feet before he fires a shot. So the shot is not defensive. His defense is to move out of the way of the car, which, as you can see, is turning in the direction that she changed the steering wheel to turn. So she's trying to just peel off and get out of the way. And it's just like, whatever, I fucked with these guys, that's enough for me, call it a day. The other thing that I thought was really interesting is that her wife never makes it back into that car. So this was my recap, which is different from the dude that I saw, which I actually saw after I saw this footage. And I had to replay it at quarter speed, like it is on this one, in slow motion about 5 times before I really could figure out the timing of, did he move his feet first or did he shoot first? He moved his feet first. So his movement of his feet is the defensive act. Had he shot first, the only thing that I could justify that with, if he had done that, which he didn't, but if he had done that, then it would have been at least slightly justified in the sense that that's the best that he could do. He didn't even have enough time to get out of the way. He knew he was going to get hit. So while he's getting run over, he fires a shot. That could have been self-defense. That could have been justifiable. That's not what happened here. So now, and the other weird thing is that, like, there's some evidence, I forget, some person somewhere said, because I've looked at a lot of stuff since then, because I've been trying to figure this out. You would think it'd be so easy, but in this case, it's really not. It's so nuanced. The protocol for ICE agents is that they can't step in front of a moving vehicle, which makes sense. Now, he steps in front of the car when it's still parked, and he only moves to get out of the way of it. So he's in the clear there. So he's following protocol up until he fires this shot. Now, I believe that when he fires the shot, it's unnecessary because she had turned the steering wheel. That's what really got me. She's not aiming at him, right? She doesn't like position the car as if she's aiming it at him. She literally aims it away from him. And again, I mean, she pulls off before her wife even gets in the damn car, which is like pure panic, because you're not going to abandon your wife. So the only reason that she would have to do that is if she panicked. Now, she didn't look panicked before, so what is it that's panicking her? Because there's 3 of them approaching, and one of them is holding onto her car door while her car is moving in reverse, and he won't let go of it. So, and you can see it if you back up, if you slow this down, you can actually see. My phone is horrible. It's probably not going to even show up in the thing. I might be able to get it to show here if I can get it to. No, it's just going to do landscape. I can't blow it up anymore. So, yeah, if you watch this next little bit here, his foot will step away first, then he fires the shot. It's coming up here in just a second. Okay, so they approach. Now, he's still in front of the car. You can't see it from this angle, but he's going to move, and you'll see him right behind. See how that dude's still holding on to the door? That's what freaks her out. And then she drives off without letting her wife in the car. There's her wife. What the fuck? And she's dead. So, like, why? Because you see all that open road there. And that's another thing that got me. You see all this snow and stuff. It's like, well, maybe she didn't want to drive in the snow. She's from Minnesota. She's fine. It's not the snow. It's the ICE agent that's holding onto the car while it's still fucking moving. So because the ICE agent is still holding onto the car while it's moving, that scares her so much that she's willing to leave her wife there so she can panic and peel off and go out of the situation. Which I thought was a little strange, but, you know, that's what it looks like to me. I can't tell because there's so much going on here and everything's blurry and it's tiny and it's really difficult to see. So I don't know, but it looks like that's her wife there, and she didn't ever get the chance to get in the car. I don't know if it's because she had locked all the doors, so that the ICE agent couldn't get in the car. I would assume so, because it looks like the ICE agent's trying to open the car door while she's still in it. And so my version of this is ICE agent guy gets pissed off about hearing her wife get pissy with him, and that they're both snarky and acting entitled, and he gets pissed and decides that he's gonna get a little bit snarky, right? Since these 2 chicks are going to try to hide behind the nuance of the law, well then so will I'm going to put my phone out just a few feet in front of me and then know in the back of my mind that people who watch this are not going to think about that. They're going to think about it as if it were body cam footage, like you're seeing it from his chest or maybe even his helmet, and it's not. It's from the cell phone. So he uses the same hand that's holding the cell phone to hit the car hood instead of using his other hand, right? And he goes, whoa, right before he fires the shot. See? So and he's watching her turn the steering wheel, so he knows he's not in danger. And he's standing still, watching this happen, right? Then he steps, well, actually even before that, right? So that's it, right there. Then the other ICE agent is trying to get the door to open. So in my opinion, at that point where Renee Good is in reverse, at that point, I think that Agent Ross, I think his name was, is the one that fired on her, was probably satisfied with just getting her arrested. But then she puts the car in forward, in drive, because she panics about the other ICE agent trying to get into her car. And that literally just causes her to panic. She does not think consciously anymore. So she starts to drive forward. And that then signals to Agent Ross, okay, well, it looks like she's going to get away, and then we're going to have to call it in, and they're never going to fucking do anything about it because she didn't actually, cause any kind of a threat. There's nothing to get this person on. She can't even really be detained because all she did was block traffic and then move. The judge is probably just going to throw that out. They're not going to deal with it. Since he's an ICE agent and not a police officer anyway, the only thing he's really supposed to be doing is detaining people that are, in his purveyance, jurisprudence. But the reason that he is even involved with this woman is because she physically obstructed his vehicle. And that's why he's even encountering her. So that's about it. Now, if she just drives off at that point, especially since he's an ICE agent, whatever he was doing then, becomes his primary duty. He's already looked around the car twice, so he knows that there's no immigrants hiding in there. I don't think he would be able to cite that as a reason to go get her arrested later on. So he wants to take care of business right now. As soon as Renee puts it in drive, he goes, you know what, fuck this. And then he just pulls his gun out and murders her and just kills her right there. Now, the thing that I find interesting is that he uses his cell phone hand to go, whoa, when he hits the car, when he hits the hood of Renee's car. So if he was really in danger, I would expect him to use his right hand. And why is his right hand not being used? Because he's unholstering his gun. So it seems to me to be the case that she did not deserve, well, not only nobody deserves to die, but no, she wasn't so far out of line as to be considered a threat, because the only thing I can think of that it would have justified Agent Ross doing that is either if he thought there was a gun, which he clearly couldn't have thought there was a gun because both of her hands were right there visible the whole time on the steering wheel. So obviously that's not it. So the only other thing that he could say is, well, she was trying to run me over, which honestly, it does kind of look like he's trying to make it seem that way by using his cell phone hand and going, whoa, even though he's got his gun unholstered. So think about that. Isn't that a little bit weird? It's like, well, why would you sound like you're surprised, but yet you're consciously using your left hand. I would assume he's right-handed because that's the hand that he uses when he fires his gun. And you use your left hand. You've got two hands, and you're using your left hand, which is the same one that you're holding the phone with, to hit the hood of the car. Now, again, everything's happening so fast that you could say, well, he may not have known, he wasn't thinking straight, blah, blah, blah. But I don't know, man. I have to flip my position on this one. I started off thinking that Renee Good was in the wrong and that the officer was in the right. And after having watched this footage so many times and then watching this dude, where is he? See, I've seen all these like twice now, so it's like this one. This guy, after watching him, then I was like, okay, I think I finally figured out what happened to Renee Good.